Midnight came again, like it always does. Quiet and honest, with the kind of darkness that doesn't shout. It just stays the world outside sleeping, but my mind was wide awake, replaying old conversation, remembering losses, counting the cost of every road that broke my heart. I tried to pray, but my words felt fragile, like they couldn't carry everything I was feeling. So I just breathed, slow, heavy, quiet. I sat in the stillness with my hands open, not because I had answers, but because I was tired of pretending I didn't need you. Some nights don't feel dramatic, they feel ordinary, but the pain feels louder when nobody is watching. And that's when my soul started telling the truth. I was tired of carrying myself, tired of holding it together, tired of being strong when strength had become my quiet prison. Midnight didn't fix my life, midnight didn't change the past, but something happened there, something gentle, something holy, something real. I didn't hear thunder, I didn't see a sign in the sky, I didn't feel a sudden rush of perfect happiness, but I felt you, like a presence sitting close, like peace resting beside me, without needing permission. When peace found me at midnight, I didn't have to fight. When peace found me at midnight, you softened up the night. No loud miracle, no dramatic change, just your mercy in the silence, calling me by name. When peace found me at midnight, my breathing slowed down deep. When peace found me at midnight, you gave my heart relief. I still had problems, I still had pain, but I wasn't alone in it ever again. There were years when I thought peace was something only strong people deserved. I thought peace was a reward for those who never broke down, those who stayed steady, those who always knew what to say. But you don't give peace as a prize, you give peace as a gift. You don't wait for a soul to become perfect, you enter the room while it's still messy, while tears are still warm, while fear is still alive. That night I didn't come with clean faith, I came with worn faith, faith with bruises, faith with questions, faith that didn't know how to smile anymore. And you didn't reject me, you didn't lecture me, you didn't tell me to just be stronger. You simply stayed. I felt the weight in my chest start to loosen, not because the struggle ended, but because your presence was stronger than my anxiety. The silence stopped feeling empty, it started feeling like a room where God listened closely. I realized something, that changed everything. Sometimes peace isn't the absence of trouble. Sometimes peace is knowing God is sitting right beside you in the middle of it. When peace found me at midnight, my tears didn't scare you away. When peace found me at midnight, you let me finally stay. No perfect prayers, no polished words, just a broken heart and your steady love. When peace found me at midnight, the dark lost some control. When peace found me at midnight, you held my tired soul. I didn't feel fixed, I didn't feel new, but I felt safe, and that was enough. I used to chase peace like it was far away. In better days, better circumstances, better emotions, better versions of myself. But you showed me peace can find you right where you are, in the quiet room, in the tired body, in the anxious thoughts, in the night that won't end, in the prayer that feels too weak. You don't require me to be fearless, you won't require me to come close. Midnight became a meeting place, not because I planned it, but because I finally stopped running. My heart didn't rise in victory, my heart rested in surrender, and that surrender felt like true adoration. Not loud, not showy, not forced, just real. When peace found me in midnight, I stopped trying to explain. When peace found me in midnight, you carried all my pain. No instant answer, no perfect day, just your presence teaching me I can trust your way. When peace found me in midnight, I learned to breathe again. When peace found me in midnight, you held me to the end. The night was quiet, but heaven was near. And for the first time in a long time, I wasn't afraid of being here. If you're listening right now, and your midnight feels heavy, if your heart is tired, if your faith feels small, if you don't even have words to pray. The room was dark, but my thoughts were bright, sharp like a blade, cutting through the quiet. I lay my head down like I always do, hoping sleep would come fast. But the night opened up inside my mind again. It wasn't the kind of night that scared me with noise. It was the kind of night that scares you with memories. One thought became 10, 10 became 100, and suddenly my heart was running a race. My body didn't ask for it. I tried to breathe slow, I tried to calm down, I tried to tell myself it's okay. But anxiety doesn't always listen to logic. It listens to fear, it listens to pain that never got a voice. The world outside was silent, but inside me everything was loud. I remember things I wish I could forget, mistakes, losses, people I couldn't save, things I couldn't fix, words I should have said, doors that closed too hard. And the worst part was I felt alone in it. Not because you were gone, but because my mind kept telling me I was carrying this by myself. So I got up, not fast, not angry, just tired. I sat on the edge of the bed with my hands open like a child who doesn't know what else to do. I didn't have strong faith that night, I didn't have big courage. I had a tired heart and a whisper of a prayer. God, I'm still awake. That was it, that was my prayer, and you didn't reject it. You didn't ask me to speak perfectly, you didn't ask me to try harder. You just came near in the quiet way you always do. When my mind wouldn't let me sleep, you stayed right by my side. When my mind wouldn't let me sleep, you held what I can't hide. No loud answers, no sudden peace, just your presence calming me, little by little deep. When my mind wouldn't let me sleep, you didn't let me go. When my mind wouldn't let me sleep, you loved my fragile soul. I still felt the weight, I still felt the fight, but you were the peace inside my night. I used to think I had to be stronger than this. I used to think real faith means you never get overwhelmed. But then I remembered the kind of people you love, the tired, the anxious, the ones who don't know how to be okay. You don't run from the weak, you don't shame the restless, you don't abandon the ones who can't control their thoughts. You come closer, you speak softer, you cover them like a blanket over trembling shoulders. That night I stopped trying to win against my mind, I stopped trying to force peace, I asked for something simpler, presence. I realized I don't need to understand everything to be held by you. I don't need to fix my past to be close to you. I don't need to be fearless to be safe. So I let the thoughts come, but I didn't obey them. I let the memories rise, but I didn't drown in them, because your peace was stronger than my fear. Even when it felt quiet, when my mind wouldn't let me sleep, your mercy slowed my breath. When my mind wouldn't let me sleep, you rescued me from myself. Not by changing my whole life, not by erasing pain, but by staying close enough to keep me sane. When my mind wouldn't let me sleep, my heart began to rest. When my mind wouldn't let me sleep, you pressed peace on my chest. The night was still, and so was you, and that stillness carried me through. Some nights don't need solutions, they need comfort. Some battles don't need noise, they need a quiet hand on a tired soul. And you are that hand, you are that voice that doesn't shout but changes everything. I looked around the room, nothing had changed. Same walls, same shadows, same silence, but I wasn't the same, because I wasn't alone anymore. That's when I understood sleep is not always the first miracle. Sometimes the first miracle is peace that finds you before sleep arrives. And even if my eyes stayed open, my soul began to close its wounds. I didn't feel perfect, I didn't feel fearless, but I felt covered. When my mind wouldn't let me sleep, I found you in the dark. When my mind wouldn't let me sleep, you lit my weary heart. No performance, no fake smile, just adoration rising in the middle of the trial. When my mind wouldn't let me sleep, you gave me quiet strength. When my mind wouldn't let me sleep, you stayed the whole length. And even if the night was long, your presence made it safe, and that was more than enough. If you're awake right now, if your thoughts won't slow down, if your heart feels heavy and the silence feels loud, breathe. You don't have to win this night alone. You don't have to be strong to be loved. You only have to be here, because God is here too. And His peace knows how to sit with a restless mind until the soul finally rests. Silence used to scare me, not because it was loud, but because it wasn't. Silence felt like a question no one wanted to answer. It felt like waiting with no guarantee. It felt like a room where my thoughts could finally speak. And I didn't always like what my thoughts had to say. There were nights when I begged for noise, anything to distract me, anything to cover the ache, anything to keep me from feeling how tired my soul had become. Because when everything goes quiet, you can hear the thing you've been avoiding. The grief that stayed too long, the prayers that never turned into miracles, the love that left, the door that closed, the life that didn't look the way you hoped it would. I used to fill the silence with my own effort. I try to fix myself, try to understand everything, try to plan my way out of pain. But silence doesn't care about my plans. It just sits there, patient and honest, waiting for me to stop running. That night I didn't have the energy to escape it anymore. The room was dim, the air was still, and my heart was tired of fighting something it couldn't defeat. So I let the silence stay. I didn't worship it, I didn't fear it, I just let it be there. And for the first time in a long time, I noticed something. The silence wasn't empty, the silence was full of you. Not in a loud way, not in a dramatic way, but in a gentle way. Only God can show up. It felt like peace with breath, like mercy without words, like presence sitting close without demanding attention. When silence became my refuge, I stopped feeling so alone. When silence became my refuge, I felt you bring me home. No loud answers, no sudden light, just your comfort in the quiet, holding me through the night. When silence became because your presence made the silence feel safe and full. I used to think a refuge meant escape, a place far away from the hard things. But you taught me something deeper. Refuge can be a moment. Refuge can be a breath. Refuge can be a room where the world stops screaming and the soul finally listens. Refuge isn't the absence of pain. Refuge is the presence of God inside the pain. That night I understood why David wrote about still waters. Not because a life always stays calm, but because you lead us to places where our hearts can drink again. In the silence, my spirit drank. I remember scriptures I learned as a child. Words that once felt simple now felt like medicine. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. I didn't just read it, I felt it. I felt you close, not fixing everything in a moment, but holding me long enough to stop shaking inside. When silence became my refuge, the fear began to fade. When silence became my refuge, you stayed and didn't change. My circumstances stayed heavy, but my soul grew light because you were beside me in the quiet night. When silence became my refuge, I found a sacred place. When silence became my refuge, I rested in your grace. No performance, no perfect prayer, just a tired heart being held right there. It's strange how peace arrives. It doesn't always come like a celebration. Sometimes it comes like a soft blanket, a gentle breath, a quiet hand on a trembling soul. That's what you were to me that night. Not a speech, not a sermon, not a lightning bolt, just presence. And presence is enough when life feels too hard. I used to measure faith by how loud I could sing, but now I measure faith by how honest I can be with you in the quiet. And that honesty, that surrender, that calm is the deepest praise my soul can give. Not loud, not forced, not rushed, just real. When silence became my refuge, I learned to breathe again. When silence became my refuge, you stayed and didn't change. My circumstances stayed heavy, but my soul grew light because you were beside me in the quiet night. When silence became my refuge, I found a sacred place. When silence became my refuge, I made a holy choice. The dark has a way of making everything feel bigger. The silence feels heavier. The memories feel closer. The fear feels louder. And the hardest part is you can't always explain it. You can't always point to one moment and say, this is why I'm hurting. Sometimes you're just tired. Sometimes you're just carrying too much. Sometimes your heart has been strong for too long. That night I didn't have energy for a brave face. I didn't have words to convince myself everything was okay. I didn't have a plan, I just had the dark and the truth that I was afraid, the truth that I didn't know what tomorrow would bring, the truth that I was holding on by a thread I couldn't see. I sat there alone, feeling the weight of everything I couldn't fix. And for a moment I wondered if the dark was where faith goes to die. But then I felt something, not a sudden miracle, not a loud answer, just a steady presence, moving closer like a father walking into the room, because he heard his child crying without making a sound. I didn't see you, I didn't hear you, but I felt you. It was the kind of comfort that doesn't need words, the kind of peace that doesn't need permission. And I realized something I'll never forget. God doesn't always remove the dark, but He always knows how to hold you in it. When God held me in the dark, I didn't have to pretend. When God held me in the dark, I felt your mercy, man. No loud rescue, no instant change, just your steady hands on me, breaking my chains. When God held me in the dark, my shaking started slow. When God held me in the dark, you wouldn't let me go. The night was heavy, but so was grace, and grace was stronger in that place. I used to believe that darkness meant distance, that when the night came, God stepped back, but that was a lie. My fear kept repeating, because you have always been the God of the night too. You were there when Israel walked through wilderness. You were there when David hid in caves. You were there when the disciples panicked on the sea. You were there when Jesus prayed in the garden of pressure. So why would you leave me now? That night I stopped demanding to feel strong. I stopped trying to be impressive. I stopped trying to prove my faith, and I simply brought you what I really had. A trembling heart, a tired mind, a prayer with no sound, and you answered it the way you answer the ones you love most. With closeness, with patience, with peace that doesn't rush. I felt my breathing slow, not because my problems vanished, but because your presence was bigger than my panic. The dark didn't change, but it lost its power when God held me in the dark. My fear began to fall when God held me in the dark. You stayed through it all, not because I was fearless, not because I was brave, but because your love is steady and it never fades. When God held me in the dark, my heart found quiet ground. When God held me in the dark, your peace was all around. The night was long, but I could stay, because you didn't walk away. Some people only praise you when life feels easy, but the deepest praise comes from the one who trusts you in the dark. Not with perfect words, not with polished prayers, but with surrender, with honesty, we're staying that night. I didn't sing like a choir, I didn't rise like a hero. I just whispered, Lord, I'm still here. And that whisper was enough, because you don't despise small faith, you don't reject weekends, you don't turn away from tired souls. You come closer, you hold them, you carry them until peace finally enters. When God held me in the dark, I learned what love can do. When God held me in the dark, I felt your presence true. No flashy promise, no stage, no show, just you and me and a mercy that glows. When God held me in the dark, when God helped break apart, when God held me in the dark, you guarded my heart. The pain was real, but so were you, and you were the reason I made it through. If you're listening right now and you're in your own dark hour, if you feel alone, if your thoughts are heavy, if your heart is trembling, stay. You don't have to force strength, you don't have to pretend peace. Let God hold you, because the dark is not your enemy. When God is with you, and He is with you, even here, even now. There was a time when saying your name felt easy, like breathing, like sunlight, like something my heart did without thinking. But then life happened, loss happened, disappointment happened, waiting happened, silence happened. And somewhere inside those seasons, my voice grew quiet. Not because I stopped believing, but because I got tired. Tired of praying and feeling nothing. Tired of hoping and watching the door stay closed. Tired of being strong while my heart was falling apart in places nobody could see. I still came to church sometimes, I still opened my Bible, I still tried to do the right things, but my soul felt distant, like a room with the lights off. I didn't stop loving you, I didn't stop needing you, I just didn't know how to speak anymore. And it's strange how pain can make you feel like you have to earn closeness with God, like you have to clean yourself up before you can come near. But midnight teaches the truth. Midnight strips away the performance. At midnight, you don't have energy to pretend. That night I sat alone, and I didn't come with big words, I didn't come with long prayers. I came with one simple moment of honesty, and I whispered your name again. Not loudly, not proudly, not like a preacher, like a child. Jesus. And the room didn't explode, the sky didn't open, but something inside me softened, Because when I whispered your name, I felt you come close. Not because my whisper was powerful, but because your love is. When I whispered your name again, the fear began to ease. When I whispered your name again, you brought my spirit peace. No perfect prayer, no fancy words, just my broken voice and your gentle love. When I whispered your name again, I felt my heart return. When I whispered your name again, I felt the candle burn. The night was heavy, but still I came, and you didn't shame me for the pain. I used to think I had to pray like a warrior, like someone who never doubts, never trembles, never gets tired. But you reminded me that you hear whispers too. You hear the quiet ones, you hear the trembling ones, you hear the ones who don't even have strength to lift their hands. You don't measure faith by honesty. And my honesty that night was simple. Lord, I still need you. That's all I had. And it was enough, because you never asked me to come with perfection. You only asked me to come, so I did. I whispered again, and something deep inside me remembered who I was. Not a failure, not forgotten, not abandoned, your child, the one you never stopped loving. And the more I whispered your name, the more the silence felt safe. Not empty, safe, because your name changed the room. Not with noise, but with presence. When I whispered your name again, my shame began to fall. When I whispered your name again, you stayed through it all. Not because I was strong, not because I was brave, but because your mercy holds me like a wave. When I whispered your name again, my breath began to slow. When I whispered your name again, you wouldn't let me go. The pain was real, the night was long, but your name became my song. There's a kind of praise that doesn't sound like music. It sounds like a whisper through tears. It sounds like a tired heart saying I still trust you. It sounds like a weak soul coming back to God with nothing but need. And that night my whisper was my offering. Not my talent, not my strength, not my performance, just my heart. I whispered your name again, and peace stayed. I whispered your name again, and my mind stopped racing. I whispered your name again, and I remember you don't leave people because they got tired. You don't abandon people because they feel weak. You come closer, you carry them, you restore them slowly. When I whispered your name again, I didn't feel so far. When I whispered your name again, you healed my hidden scars. No instant life, no perfect day, just your presence showing me I'm still okay. When I whispered your name again, I found my way back home. When I whispered your name again, I wasn't on my own. And even if the night stayed dark, I had a light within, because your name was near me. Was once again. Midnight didn't feel holy when it began. It felt like emptiness, like a quiet punishment, like the world had moved on, and I was left alone with my own thoughts. The night used to be my enemy, because the night has a way of pulling everything to the surface. Every fear you bury, every memory you avoided, every wound you learn to smile through. And I didn't want to face it. I wanted distractions, I wanted noise, I wanted sleep without thinking. But the night didn't give me that. It gave me truth. It gave me stillness. It gave me the moment where the mask fall off and the soul finally admits what it's been carrying that night. I didn't come to God as someone strong. I came as someone empty. I came with tired hands, tired faith, tired thoughts. I came with a heart that didn't know how to make sense of everything that survived. And I didn't come to ask for quick miracles. I came because I needed presence, because some pain can't be solved, it can only be held. And I was tired of holding it alone. So I sat there in the same quiet room, with the same dark walls and the same midnight air. And something changed, not outside me, inside me. 'Cause God came close, not loud, not dramatic but real, like a warm flame in a cold house, like a steady hand on a trembling shoulder. And I realized the night can become a sanctuary when God is in it. When the night became a sanctuary, my heart stopped running fast. When the night became a sanctuary, I found my peace at last. No loud answers, no perfect plan, just your presence teaching me I still can't stand. When the night became a sanctuary, my mind began to rest. When the night became a sanctuary, you calmed my weary chest. The darkness stayed, but it felt new, because the night was filled with you. I never thought I'd say this, but the night became my safe place. Not because pain disappeared, but because grace arrived. Not because life became easy, but because God became close. The silence stopped being empty, it started becoming sacred. It became the kind of quiet where my soul could breathe, the kind of quiet where I didn't have to perform, the kind of quiet where I didn't have to prove that I still believe. I just had to stay. I thought praise only belonged to bright mornings and happy hearts, but you showed me that deep adoration can happen in the dark. Adoration isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a whisper, sometimes it's breathing, sometimes it's staying when you wanna give up. Sometimes it's saying, I don't understand, but I trust you anyway. That night, my adoration looked like surrender. It looked like open hands, it looked like silence that wasn't afraid anymore. When the night became a sanctuary, my tears began to heal. When the night became a sanctuary, your mercy felt so real. Not because I earned it, not because I was strong, but because your love is steady all night long. When the night became a sanctuary, the fear lost all its grip. When the night became a sanctuary, you held me through it. The storm was there, but it couldn't win, because your peace was deep within. I started remembering old scripture like it was written for nights like this. He gives his beloved sleep, and I used to think that meant instant sleep, fast sleep, perfect sleep. But I learned something. Sometimes sleep begins before your eyes close. Sometimes sleep begins when your soul stops trembling. Sometimes the gift isn't sleep itself, it's peace, that deep peace that settles in your chest like a promise. And even if your life still has unanswered questions, peace makes the weight unbearable. Peace makes the silence gentle. Peace makes the night feel like home. When the night became a sanctuary, I felt your spirit near. When the night became a sanctuary, I didn't drown in fear. No heavy pressure, no perfect words, just my heart resting quietly in the Lord. When the night became a sanctuary, I found a sacred breath. When the night became a sanctuary, I chose your peace instead. The world was asleep, but heaven stayed, and I knew whether